Following a worldwide manhunt that lasted over 4 years, 2 men were captured in the winter of 2017 and brought to trial. They face charges including attempts to violate pop culture and sabotage the planet's entertainment industry. After being held for less than 48 hours, these 2 men escaped from a maximum security facility. The fugitives are now believed to be holding up in an unknown secret location where they continue to broadcast their messages to their ever-growing army of renegade followers. Known only by the code names of Theo Cane and Respek BA, these men are armed, these men are dangerous, and these men are criminals.
1, 2, testing. This is Theo Cane
and Respek BA,
and you are now locked into the sound of the Slimehouse Squadcast.
and this is the Lowdown Shelter.
And we are back again. Welcome to the Slimehouse Squadcast, reporting live from an unknown underground location known only as the Lowdown Shelter. I'm Theo Cane, that's my brother Respek BA,
What's cracking, mate?
and it's unlucky number 13. Episode number 13, is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I believe it's number 13.
And people might think we've been slacking recently with the episodes, but you don't even understand how much shit we've had on right now. We've got lots of stuff coming out. We've been very, very, very busy fucking worker bees, and yeah, man, we've just had a lot of shit popping off, so that's why. But we always try to keep them as consistent as possible. And I've done a lot in the time that we last podcasted. You've been up to a lot of shit. There's been a lot of stuff to cover, so let's get straight into it, brother. How have you been?
Let's roll. I've been all good, mate. I've been keeping myself busy with various writing sort of things, and
That's it. So yeah,
that's been me this week.
I don't know how much of a secret this is, but in the last fucking couple of weeks, BA's become quite the author, and I don't mean of albums on bars and music.
No, I don't know about quite the offer, mate, but because, you know, I've been working closely with you on film related stuff and shit, I thought I'd try my hand at trying to write a couple things, but they're probably shit, so yeah, I wouldn't say they're amazing or anything, but yeah.
Well, I said
Giving it a shot.
You what, bro?
Giving it a shot,
Yeah. No, you trust me. Like myself, Respect, and Critical, we all sat down and like we were shooting some ideas the other day. That's our friend from Florida, Critical. We were just shooting some ideas and come up with like about 4 or 5 proper cool little short film ideas and shit. And then you've also got a little feature film idea as well, which is cool, man. I just like being around people that are inspired and doing cool stuff. So keep at it, man, and maybe a few more episodes in, we can talk a little bit more about the writing side of stuff.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm game for that. You know what it is, mate? As I get older, it's like, I love creative writing in all forms. Just writing bars is what I do, but I figured I might as well try my hand at other kinds of creative writing and see how well I can do at this shit, you know what I mean? So
I feel that. For anyone that's wondering what that rustling sound is, I think that it's a bit obvious what it is. BA's rolling his spliff and I can hear it so fucking loud right now. But just letting anyone know what it is, if they're like, why is Theo rustling paper? Just know that's not me. That's BA right there, rustling his fucking
fans of the
paper.
show love that sound. That sound is one of the catchphrases of this show, you know what I mean?
That's genuine. That's right. That's actually happening right now, right there.
Yeah.
So I went to see Wonder Woman. I said on the last episode I'd give like a rundown on what Wonder Woman's saying. And again, if you listen to this show regularly, you'll know that I am not the biggest DC fan, and anyone that's a comic book fan, you're either Marvel or DC. It's rare that you find anyone that loves them both equally. You get people.
I'd go so far as to say you're a DC hater.
I'm not a DC hater. I've got love for DC. I appreciate DC, but my heart's with Marvel. I'm Marvel MCU through and through. Comics
Can you
through
explain
and through.
to me, by the way, why like people feel the need to draw a line in the sand so fucking hard when it comes to Marvel and DC? Because I'm one of the few people that, you know, does like them both equally, and like they're both all good to me. Like I don't see what a big deal is, kind of thing.
It's probably the same people that draw the line between Star Trek and Star Wars, even though they're very different. And that's probably a bad example because they are incredibly different, Star Trek and Star Wars. One's a TV show and one's a franchise of movies to begin with. But the thing with me personally is I just grew up on Marvel. One of my first introductions to Marvel was I got this book. and it's a book by Stan Lee and the other dude, I can't remember his name, but it's called How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, and it's full of like old Steve Ditko art and that kind of thing, and Jack Kirby and things, and it's just showing artists how to draw Marvel comics. So I grew up reading that book religiously, and that's where I got a lot of my initial very early techniques of drawing from. So I was always a big Marvel fan, and then growing up, like when it would come to time to watch the animated cartoons, I'd always choose to watch Spider-Man over an X-Men over Batman and Superman, and it's just I personally have always gravitated towards that more. As I've got older, I've got more of an appreciation for DC. But
I'm not saying you're the worst example,
no,
but
I'm not.
these people are out there. Where does the football fucking hooligan mentality come into it with things like Star Trek and Star Wars? You know what's weird about the Star Trek and Star Wars thing, by the way? As you said, they aren't anything alike. The only reason they're rivals is because it's like
they got Star in the title.
They both perceive each one as the flagship thing of sci-fi ever.
Yeah,
so they're like, Star Wars is the pinnacle of it's like the ultimate nerd fight between those two.
Well, I suppose with comics, DC and Marvel are debatably the pinnacle of comics, and who's got the coolest characters. It's a friendly rivalry, but you just you're usually either one or the other. I know people that are both, but I personally love Marvel, and that's just because I was raised on it, and I know so much more about the Marvel universe. But I would happily sit in like a fucking quiz and be very, very confident that I could smash the majority of the Marvel questions because I've loved it for so many years. A DC one, I wouldn't have a fucking open hell. So,
you know why I feel the need to give credit to both of them personally?
Yeah.
Because I know you're getting on to talk about Wonder Woman. We're completely going off track already,
that's
but
cool.
That's what we fucking do.
That's what we fucking do.
Yeah. Like, the more you look into the history, obviously Wolverine's based on a DC character called Timberwolf, and they've stolen things vice versa over the years.
Of course they have.
And because there's so many blood lines there, and it's all a grey area as to who's actually attributable to what, and they've both borrowed and shared off each other, it's like, surely they're both equally as good, because, you know, you never know who's really attributable to what. Like, Wolverine's one of their biggest characters, but he's based on a DC guy, you know. I don't know.
Well,
to me, it's like I just rate dope shit in any kind of art.
Yeah.
So, and I think both of them have dope shit.
It may be a bit like why some people are Mortal Kombat and some people are Street Fighter. Like, you'll play them both, but you have your one that you prefer, even though they are just cool fighting games and they're different. There's a very interesting fact, though. Check this, and I believe it was in the mid to early 90s. Comic book, maybe, or was it the late 80s? Either way, there was a point where Marvel or DC, I can't remember which one it were. It might have been both. Comic books in general, superhero comics, were selling so little amounts that it was actually I don't know how I don't know all the little significant factors of this, but comic books were selling so less at the time that it went up for sale, or it was about to go up for sale, and either DC or Marvel almost bought the other one, which means all this shit would have existed in the same universe. Like when Vince McMahon bought a PCW and WCW and turned it all into WWE. That nearly happened with Marvel and DC. Imagine how fucking crazy that would have been if that genuinely happened.
Yeah, no doubt that would have been sick. But I would like to think that Marvel would have given DC, if it went that way round, more respect than WWF gave WCW, because they brought them all in and smashed them all basically.
Yeah. No, that was literally just an example. But I tell you what, I mean, we've spoke about it a little bit on this before, and I know we're going to get into this later, but a prime example of Marvel constantly trying to shit on DC, and this is not something that's a fact. It's not something they've ever said, yes, we do that on purpose, or it might just be fan theory. But every time DC has a little moment to shine, Marvel just fucking shits all over them, and like, just as like the DC trailer will drop for Justice League, then Marvel will just drop fucking Spider-Man Homecoming trailer, and soon as like they have a little bit of hype over one film, then they're like, boom, have a fucking Thor Ragnarok trailer. But listen
to how much you're controlling the narrative by the way you're just describing a situation, because when I see it, I don't see it like that. I see it like, oh, there's a new Justice League trailer, oh, the new Thor trailer as well. But you're like, and then Marvel comes back like, fuck you. So even when you're describing it, like, I can tell you're Team Marvel, you know what I mean?
I am Team Marvel, but I've got love for them both, but I'm Team Marvel. The Vision, Hulk, Black Panther, do you know what I mean? Deadpool, Punisher, Ghost Rider, these are my people, innit? These are the ones I grew up with and I love. Like, I don't really care about Cyborg and Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter. Like, I think they're cool and I'll watch them and I'll enjoy them for what they are, but they'll never resonate in my blood like Marvel will.
Fuck it, mate. Whatever side you're on, I have to side on that side, innit?
But we can all decide that Gal Gadot looks fucking beautiful as Wonder Woman. We could all agree on that.
Okay, so tell me, I've heard that fucking shits on Batman vs Superman. What's the deal?
Oh yeah, it does. Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Batman Superman. I love Zack Snyder movies, so it was of no reflection of the like art direction and stuff. But yeah, he just like Wonder Woman is probably so far the best DC Universe movie in this new universe that they're creating.
No
that
shit.
They've put out. Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like, it's very, very sick. And yeah, it just looks beautiful. The soundtrack's good. It flows well. It was just a very enjoyable movie. Now, don't get me wrong. It's kind of like a movie just for the sake of doing a Wonder Woman film, because it is a prequel, and then at the end, and you just find out obviously the origin story of Wonder Woman, and then at the end of the film, this is not even a spoiler. At the end of the film, it goes back to basically at the start of the film. It starts in present day, or the DC Universe present day, and we see Bruce Wayne has delivered a picture to Wonder Woman. This picture is one that she was took in World War II, when you see that it were taken from Batman Superman. This is how he finds out that Wonder Woman existed such a long time ago. He sends her the photo, and Wonder Woman looks at it, and then it goes into the picture kind of thing, and we go into the flashback, and the prequel takes place. The whole movie's set in World War One. Really fucking cool. I'm not going to go too much into the storyline. If it's been out a while, so you've probably seen it. I'm just letting you know my thoughts on it. The film's very cool, and then at the end of the film, when all said and done, it just reverts back to present day, and Wonder Woman's kind of like, so now I am the Wonder Woman, and I exist to fight another day, and then the film just ends. So it doesn't really. It's like a little prequel comic. It don't really build anything towards their universe apart from showing you the origin of Wonder Woman. But
you think it was just done better than Man of Steel?
Oh,
Batman
unbelievably! It's a very, very cool film, and I recommend.
So how would you rate it compared to the Marvel franchise? Would it make your top 10 superhero films?
I don't know. Do you know the thing is with the Marvel films? It's rare that I watch them. Like the standalone films, like Doctor Strange or Ant-Man, for example. Like, these are very fucking sick films, and I love them. But I've only watched them a couple of times because they're episodical. So it's like, it'd be like you could watch an episode of Walking Dead and it could be fucking amazing, but you're not going to go back and watch it 10 times, because then boom, you're on to the next one, and you're on to the next one. And that's very much what the Marvel films are like. So I'll watch them a couple of times, and then you're all building up to the Avengers movies or the Civil War movies, or these movies that are coming out now like Thor Ragnarok, that have got a lot more going on. So I don't really rate any. I couldn't put any of them in a top 10. Obviously, like Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier, both Avengers movies and Civil War are all fucking sick, and Infinity Wars is going to be unbelievable. I know we're trying to talk about Wonder Woman, but Infinity Wars is going to look so sick. Today, Robert Downey Jr. uploaded a photo on his Instagram, and it's him as Iron Man with Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange's right-hand man, and Bruce Banner, the Hulk. He's there, Mark Ruffalo. So they're all just sat there eating dinner on set in costume, and you're just like, oh man, this film is going to be it's going to be the pinnacle of building up for 10 years into this big fucking war crossover. I can't wait. I'm buzzing. So
I know.
I doubt very much Wonder Woman is going to top any of that. I doubt there's not going to be no DC film that will top what Marvel have done for me personally. But it's very, very good. And compared to the criticism that a lot of the other DC Universe films have got, like your Suicide Squad and Batman, Superman, it's by far superior. And I just urge anyone to watch it.
And do you think that's because, like you said, they kept the story smaller, and it was just a good little story? Or what?
Yeah, maybe they didn't try and do anything like too
cram in the
outlandish
fucking
with the
universe.
Story. Yeah, no, maybe it's just very, very good to watch. And I mean, there's a scene in it where, and everyone's talking about this scene, so I'm not really ruining anything. But basically, these, do you know, like they have the no man's land in World War One? It was like a huge piece of fucking wasteland, and there were Germans at one side in trenches, and English and American on the other side, and they were just firing at each other for, I think he said they've been going for 18 months or something like that. And she says it's no man's land. They're like, you can't cross there, it's no man's land. And she's just like, I am no man. And she steps up and fucking fights her way across there, like starts making it halfway through on her own, and she's taking loads of gunfire and stopping it and charging forward. And as soon as all the gunfire is directed on her, then all the Americans and English and stuff are like, oh, that's it, we've got our moment, we can take it. And then he shows them take over no man's land, and there's just a sick fucking fight scene. And there's like this sick bit where there's like a sniper in a tower, and Wonder Woman runs up, bounces off this part of a tank. I think it's a part of a tank, like a panel of a tank that Chris Pine's holding. Chris Pine's sick in this film, by the way. And she jumps up and like Muay Thai knees so fucking hard that she smashes through the turret of the church and blasts the fucking guy into rubble. But yeah, I mean, it's just a really cool film, man. There's lots of stuff happening, and they kept the villain of the film quite under wraps. Well, they did keep it under wraps. It's Ares. Ares is the villain in the movie at the end, but he's a very weird take on Ares because he's played by like an old English dude. Like it's kind of like all the way through the film there's this old. It's spoilers galore, but I don't really care because it's been out a while, so I'm not ruining anything for anyone, hopefully. But yeah, there's an old dude. I don't know his name, but he plays like one of the English like fucking officials back in World War II, and he ends up being the dude who's Ares at the end of the film, like big fucking spiky armored Ares. But then you look at his face and he's still like a little posh old Englishman with a mustache and stuff. It were a bit weird. I never pictured Ares looking like that, but it works. The thing what's very different with like Marvel and DC is that DC villains are not heroes and villains are known for being extremely overpowered. Like you see Superman and Zod fight, and they're fucking flying like as fast as a bullet, crashing through fucking planets, and like proper Dragon Ball Z style. Like that's never gonna be what it's like if you see Spider-Man fighting fucking Dr. Octopus or something. Do you know what I mean? So the fight at the end of the film with Wonder Woman and Ares is very high powered, flying about, fucking shooting shit at each other, big electrical powers and loads of stuff. So DC are known for having heroes that are a lot more higher powered than like your Marvel heroes as well. I would say you have your high power, your really powerful characters in Marvel, but overall DC just seem to have a lot more really fucking like god-like characters like Superman and Black Adam and Shazam and all these people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it were wicked, man. It were wicked, and I urge everyone to watch it. Give it a go. If you've kind of lost faith in the DCU, then this will hopefully bring it back. I don't know what direction they're going to go with Justice League. You know, what's mad is that Zack Snyder. You know, obviously, Zack Snyder, the dude that directed The Watchmen, 300, he did Sucker Punch and all these. He's cool, he's fucking sick, he's very stylized. Say what you want about Batman, Superman, but when it comes to visually stunning fucking set pieces, this guy is a killer. And I
love his style, man. I love the way all his films look like.
Well, he's the guy that's directing Justice League until very recently, where unfortunately, man, fucked up, his daughter committed suicide. So he's like taken a time out of filmmaking just to do. He's got a lot of, I think he's got quite a few kids. I think he's got like 4 or 5 kids, and he's got a big family. So he's taken time out of filmmaking to look after his family, which is obviously life shit gets in the way of art many times, and that's completely understandable. But what's crazy is Josh Whedon has stepped in to finish filming Justice League. And to anyone that doesn't know, Josh Whedon is the dude that directed the Avengers, but the Avengers. So you've got to think this is a dude who cemented what the Marvel universe is today. He's the one that coordinated all that chaos and made like the most popular Marvel film of the time, like something that had never been done before. Combined all these characters into one movie and made it work fucking beautifully. He's now the guy that DC have hired to create to finish Justice League. So they're shooting some more stuff. And I hope it doesn't suffer from reshoots, but it is quite a common thing. Most films do have reshoots. But again, it was like Marvel. I think what it was is like Marvel dropped the Justice League trailer. No, DC dropped the Justice League trailer, so Marvel were like, boom, have a fucking Spider-Man Homecoming. And then they were like, oh, all right, well, guess what? We've taken Josh Whedon, and now he's working with us. And I think this is around the time they were like, that's nice. Have a fucking Thor Ragnarok. And then the other day, when it just gets announced that Wonder Woman's one of the highest grossing superhero films ever. They're like, oh, that's nice. Black Panther trailer. Have some of that, you daft bastards. And yeah, man, it's...
Have some of that, you daft bastards.
Have some of that, you daft bastards.
Oh,
fucking Wonder Woman, Black Panther, bruv. You think you've pioneered the first female superhero that's done really well? We've got the first fucking... we've got the first black superhero, and all the cast made up are like the fucking greatest fucking black American actors you've ever seen. And it's going to be sick.
It does look sick.
Yeah, it does look
I'm
sick.
telling you, man, they need to make Marvel football jerseys, because you lot would buy them, man, and go kick the shit out of the DC fans and shit.
Oh, yeah. No, real talk.
Petrol bombing them.
Black Panther looks fucking awesome, bro. Like, this is a film that... Just think... And in that trailer, to Charles, the Black Panther doesn't even say one word. And it's also a movie like Thor Ragnarok. It's got Hulk in there. Spider-Man Homecoming's got... Iron Man in there. This is a trailer, and whether it's got other MCU characters in it, superhero characters, Winter Soldier will probably turn up because he is currently frozen in Wakanda. But yeah, just purely off how fucking cool it looked. I think it was like one of the most viewed Marvel trailers of all time. Like within the first 48 hours of it dropping, which is like a huge thing. So yeah, man.
Black Panther's just
gonna
a
be
cool
sick.
looking character.
Yeah,
mate.
he's sick, bro. He's sick. He's definitely got one of the coolest fucking outfits in the MCU. He's just a bad man, and I always loved him in the comic. Loved him in the cartoon in Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes and stuff. And yeah, it looks fucking sick. And Andy Serkis looks sick as well. As
you know,
Ulysses
I remember
Claw.
watching the Black... A few years ago, I watched the Black Panther animated movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah, sick.
The Marvel one. Yeah, that was dope, man. One of the few Marvel animated movies I have watched, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, he's a very sick character, and that trailer looks wicked. Like I said, you've got Andy Serkis as Ulysses Claw, who's a fucking sick character. In the comic, he's a dude that replaces one of his arms with like this mad sound cannon, and eventually he becomes a character that's created purely from like solidified sound. I don't know how far
I've
they'll
heard
go with
about
that.
this guy. He's got some weird name or something.
Yeah,
hasn't
it's
he?
Ulysses Claw.
Is that the
with
name
a
of him when he turns
KLAR.
into that guy?
Well, he's always Ulysses Claw, but they just call him Claw when he's the dude that's made completely out of
Claw.
sound, and he's got a very distinct look to him. But yeah, I always loved that character, Claw.
And because Black Panther's suit is that metal called vibranium,
that's
it's
it.
something to do with sound or some shit.
Vibranium, basically Wakanda, as we find out from this trailer, is the actual El Dorado. People thought it was in like Brazil in South America. It's actually in Africa. And millions of years ago, a comet full of this vibranium landed in Wakanda. And then since then, their countries flourished and become so much more technologically advanced than the rest of the world. But as a front, they've surrounded it. I think it's surrounded by waterfalls, and they've made it look like a third world country. But it's actually one of the most fucking technologically advanced countries on the planet.
Yeah, Black Panther's meant to be like the 8th smartest man in the entire world or something.
Well, I don't know if they're going to do that in the MCU, because then it makes fucking Iron Man pretty obsolete. If this guy's not only sick at martial arts, he's sick his suit, he's superhuman, and he's one of the most intelligent people on the fucking planet.
And he's rich.
And he's rich as fuck. Yeah, he can't... I don't know how much they'll do that, but his sister is one of the greatest minds on the planet. She's like Tony Stark's level of intelligence. She invents all the technology in Wakanda and stuff. So we don't really find out too much from this trailer, but it's got so many cool people in. I forget her name, but Michonne from The Walking Dead's in it. Forrest Whitaker's in it. You've got the dude from Creed. I forget his name. The dude that plays Creed. Oh man, there's so many. They've got the guy from Get Out in it. They've got so many people. Like, if you look at the cast of this film, it's just like the sickest lineup of African American actors that you'll ever fucking see, man. So it's gonna be sick. So I can't wait for that. That comes out next year, just before Infinity Wars. I think it's like February of next year, and then Infinity Wars comes out kind of this time next year. So it's all going to be sick. We also got
That's
announced,
what I'm going to check out. For sure.
Yo, definitely, bro. Definitely, I'll never miss that. And I hope you watch it, bro. We also got announced today that it's confirmed that Godzilla 2 is going to feature Mothra, Rodan, and your boy King Ghidorah.
And it's directed by my boy Michael Dougherty.
You get me? My man who made Trick or Treat and Krampus, this fucking sick dude. He's going to be directing. That film, as far as I'm concerned, can't do wrong. It can't do wrong.
I'll tell you what, bro. I don't know if you watched it too tough or what, but see the imagery in Krampus. Like, say what you say about the actual film, but see the actual imagery on screen, and that is fucking amazing, bro. And Trick or Treat's sick, obviously.
Bro, them films are sick. They've got the sickest like practical effects. They've just got a fucking crazy. It's meant to sound like a warm feeling. Like they bring that 80s vibe back, and that's a dude that's gonna take the helm of the biggest fucking monster franchise ever. So yeah, man, I can't wait to see what that's gonna be like. You put King Ghidorah, Mothra, Rodan, and Godzilla in a film together, and that shit's gonna fucking rock. And then at the end, be like, oh yeah, by the way, he's gonna fight King Kong in the next one. Fuck off! I can't wait, bro. The MonsterVerse is popping. I can't wait for that. I can't wait.
Yeah, I was saying to you the other day, like, out of all of these shared universes, the monster one is the one that I'm looking forward to most. Like, I'm pretty much done to death with superhero shit for the most part, and I think the Universal one is just bad. They're just bad films. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all these fucking King of the Monsters and all of that shit with King Ghidorah.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I can't wait for it to like seriously start popping off with all that shit. And you are as well, a huge fan of the Toho Godzilla films. I mean, I've got so many of the fucking vinyl toys from that film. I know them all by heart. All those films. I love Godzilla vs Megalon, Godzilla vs Gigan, Godzilla vs Monster from Planet X, all the Mothras, Destroy All Monsters, Final Wars. I fucking love all this shit. And if they do it properly being that Godzilla at first fights Mothra and he fights Rodan, and then he forms an alliance with him and fights Megalon and King Ghidorah and Gigan and these space monsters and shit like that. That's how I want to see it. I want to see, you know me, brother, I love Jet Jaguar. He's my favourite Toho monster character. When you got Godzilla and Jet Jaguar back to back fighting Gigan and Megalon, it's fucking sick. I hope we get a bit of that. I don't know how they'll work. It won't be that cheesy and that fun in the new versions, but if you could get it to a point where Mothra, Godzilla, and Rodan are facing off with fucking King Ghidorah, and have King Ghidorah fucking massive with 3 heads, it'll be a fucking rate swingers. I can't wait.
Yeah. Shit'll be good.
So that's all popping off. Yeah, I see. It's just been like a crazy week for all this stuff happening. While we're talking about Zack Snyder, and obviously the dude that created Watchmen, and I fucking love that film, and I know you love it. The HBO, it's just been confirmed. HBO are actually putting into production a Watchmen series that just got announced today. I don't know how you feel about that, bro, but and neither do I really, because that film to me was so perfect, and I know Alan Moore didn't like it, and I know it changed the ending and stuff. Instead of having like a giant octopus creature destroying Earth, it was a bomb. But like that film for me were perfect, and mainly because Rorschach was so fucking awesome. I love that. Never compromise, even in the face of Armageddon. I love it, bro. I love it, and I can't wait to fucking. I can't wait to see this series is going to be good. I say Rorschach is like someone that I hold so close to my heart. So I hope for I really hope that they do it properly. But it's going to be a live action series. It's not animated as far as I'm aware. I didn't really read too much about it.
Are any of the characters reprising the roles from the film?
Oh yeah, it's nothing to do with the film. It will be a complete retelling of the comic book. You see, the thing with Watchmen is it's like one standalone graphic novel. Characters die in it and shit, so it's just a one-off thing.
It'll be hard to beat the way Zack Snyder made it look.
Oh, I know, but we'll just have to see what it's like. If what's recently happened as well in the DC comics is Watchmen it's become canon as part of the. I think it's called this. I think what's it called now? The like new DC 32 or something they call it. DC was like kind of reinvented a bit like the Marvel Ultimates. They kind of started all the they rewrote the history and that kind of thing. But they've released Watchmen into the DC universe. So there's this cool cover of Flash and Batman, and when you turn it, it's like a hologram, and they're holding the comedian's badge. So I don't really know too much about it because I haven't read too much into it because I don't read DC comics really. But they've made out that the Watchmen is canon as part of the DC universe, which is cool.
Cool.
It effectively means that, I mean, as far as I'm aware, Warner Brothers still own the Watchmen, so they could even make out that the Watchmen was part of the DC universe. And it looks the same. It's a Zack Snyder film. He's directed all that stuff so stylized that it looks like it could all tie into the same world.
Yeah, I agree. All their films look like Zack Snyder films, whether he's directing them
I
or
think
not.
that's the thing they're going for. That's how they're going to make them look different to Marvel movies. They're going to have theirs really fucking stylized, and then that way they're never going to look like they're trying to copy each other. They're like, yeah, Marvel do their thing, but look at ours. Ours looks like a comic book on the page. Ours looks really stylized. The sky's always really red and fucking crazy. It's a lot more shooting on a green screen. But it's a cool look, and it's obviously got a place, and it's got a place within the fucking DCU.
Oh, well, there you go.
I also wanted to talk about Alt Studios. We talked a little bit about it last week because the trailer dropped, but since then there's been 2 episodes out. There was the one that was dropped yesterday, the one that's like a TV shopping channel commercial from the 80s, which I mean, it's cool. It's a cool little thing, but it's by no means a shadow on the one that came out last week, which was like a full 20-odd minute movie. Raqqa.
Yeah, Raqqa.
What did you think to Raqqa, bro?
I thought it was a crazy concept, man. It was basically the opposite of District 9. Aliens were in control of humans, and humans were fighting back against the aliens. It was a mad reptilian species. The design of the alien was sick.
I love the armor. It's like fucking black nanobots, like constantly moving, like a weird Tar symbiote kind of thing. And they use it to create all like machinery and knives and fucking madness. Like they've got that big like. Just to anyone that doesn't know, Alt Studios. We talked about it a bit last time. But it's a new studio set up by Neil Blomkamp, and he's the dude that made Chappie and Elysium and District 9. And for whatever reason, he looks like he's been shit on by Hollywood a little bit when he got the Alien movie took off him because he was going to make an Alien movie. So for whatever reason, he's set up his own studio and he's releasing a series of experimental shorts. And the first one that dropped was Raqqa, and it's just stylistically so fucking beautiful. I just love that universe is created. I want to live there, man. It's so sick. Everything just looks so fucking sick.
Yeah, it's dope, mate. I was saying to you the other day as well, it would be sick if that black liquid was in some way the same black liquid as the fuel in District 9
Oh, imagine,
well.
it'd be sick. It's weird because all this stuff looks so similar. It's all futuristic. It's always got like robots in it or crazy machinery, but he never has any little nods to each other, like any Easter eggs nods from film to film, as far as I'm aware. But I wish there were some kind of fucking expanded universe. He might not be into it. He might think it don't work. He might not like it like we do. They don't want to see crossovers like we do, maybe. But it's very fucking sick. I've said it so many times, but one thing I love about Neil Blomkamp's art direction is that everything always has its own little logos. He picks up a gun and it'll be like chemtrail company, or any computer or phone device or gadget or watch or whatever. It's always got little logos all over it that he's created, and it always just builds up a world. And Raqqa was no exception. He just looks gritty and fucking. He mixes gritty with beautiful. He really makes something so visually stunning, but it's really gritty. And all the armor always looks battle torn and damaged and like stitched together with little bits of writing and like tally marks on it and that kind of thing. He's so
post-apocalyptic looking.
I love the bit when he's got the dude who's been brainboxed, he's been brainwashed, and he's walking, but he's got like a big growth in his neck, and he's like, "The aliens want to help. They will take us to paradise." And his neck's all mutant fucking growth. Yeah, the next one coming out, I think that's the one with Dakota Fanning in. So that'll be cool. It looks like it's got some mad like Spec Ops people. And on his Instagram, there was a picture of like one of them Spec Ops, like them black fucking SWAT team soldier dudes laid out with all his guts like spread out all over a fucking table. Like he'd been infected with some mad like fucking flesh fungus fucking virus or some shit. So that'll be dropping next week. I think they've been dropping on a Tuesday night. Is that right? Or Wednesday night? It's a Wednesday night or early Thursday morning. They've been dropping. So I'll be looking out for that next week. I wasn't sure how frequent we were going to be getting them, but currently it looks like one a week.
Sweet, yeah. I think it was last night or something, wasn't it? Or was it?
It was last night when you sent me the trailer to it to watch it. And yeah, he released one this morning. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a cooking. It's like a shopping channel for cooking equipment, and it's this mad like chainsaw kind of fucking machine that they've got that's just really fucking useless at chopping anything apart from the dude's hand.
Yeah, it's an odd little thing, but it reminds me of one of the skits in RoboCop. Yeah, when they were like advertising the skin lotion.
That's it. Nukem, a family game, another quality game from Butler Brothers. That kind of thing. That's it. Yeah. Like very, very satirical and very like fucking. very, very like poking fun at that kind of American fucking smiley culture. But yeah, it's cool. It's only a few minutes long. It's got nothing on Raka. Raka's like a fucking movie. Like I wanted to watch the whole thing when I saw that. But yeah, definitely watch that. That's something you need to be looking at. Something that happened we've had 2 tragic losses. One yesterday and I think one earlier in the week. I don't know the exact date. But first one. He's Prodigy from Mobb Deep. Everyone knows us from battle rap and music and that kind of thing. Obviously, we're hip hop fans through and through, and it came as quite of a shock to. This was one that the hip hop community I really felt spread throughout it, all of it, from grime to hip hop to battle rap. I don't know if your timeline were the same.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Mobb Deep are a legendary hip-hop crew. So many good tracks, so many legendary tracks, and it's a shame because he was only 42 years old.
Do you know what I mean?
Well.
Yeah. And he's one of them that just looks so youthful. One of them dudes that just looked like he had many years of fucking spitting that cold shit left. And unfortunately not. I mean, I know it's very fucking, it's very obvious, but Shook One's Part 2 is like the fucking sickest Mobb Deep track to me. I love that. Like the opening verse on that I fucking love. And the other bars on there obviously aren't by him, but I love them as well. I love that. As long as I'm alive, I'ma live illegal. I want to get on, I'ma put up all my people. I love that line. Yeah, of course. But then Prodigy's ones, rock you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone. I fucking love that shit. That's a track that opened up 8 Mile, bro. Something that like brought battle rap into the fucking mainstream pop culture. And that was the opening track of the movie. And I remember that was the first time I heard Mobb Deep. When I heard that song by Mobb Deep, and it came on, I went to watch 8 Mile in cinema like most people our age did. And when Eminem's in the mirror rapping to that song, I was always like, what the fuck's this song? It's fucking bad. And then I've pretty much listened to it every day since then. I have it on every day. I ain't one of these that just bumped it today because he died yesterday. Like, no, like that song Shut Ones I listen to every fucking day, bro. So yeah, man, rest in peace to Prodigy. Fucking another fallen fucking legend and one of the greatest wordsmiths in gangster rap.
Indeed, R.I.P. man. It's fucked up.
It is, and I say again, it's one that I really felt spread throughout the hip hop world and just the urban music world. Another one, now this one I felt ricochet through the whole of the fucking horror community, and as many people know, I'm one of the staff members at UK HorrorCon. I've got hundreds of people on my Facebook that are horror fans and cosplay at events and have stalls selling horror shit, and just all the people from the horror convention scene. It's Simon Says. I don't mean that like Simon Says. Simon Says. He's the dude who created the laminate configuration from Hellraiser. That's the puzzle box, the puzzle box that summons the Cenobites.
Yeah.
Mate, like how much of a fucking iconic piece of film is that? The fucking laminate configuration. In fact, at the tattoo shop, we tattooed one a few months ago on my friend Rob Nevitt, the guy who runs Celluloid Screams Horror Film Festival, and it looks like a fucking photo. Yeah, he did a proper sick job on it. That's facebook.com/bullying if you want to see that shit. That's the tattooing that we do throughout the week. But yeah, it was mad because this dude, right? He knew he was going to die. I think it was a couple of years ago he was diagnosed with this cancer that he had, so he knew he didn't have long left to live. So what he started doing is a limited number, I don't know how many did, but you could commission him to create your own laminate configuration. And I don't know if he actually all moved and stuff. I know someone that bought one, but it was like burnt and etched in, you know, like all the patterns that surround it. And then what he did is he fucking wrapped it in this like Hessian sack material and stained it with his own blood and sealed it with wax or some shit. Yeah, he stained it with his own blood and did like only so many, so that however many there is of them, as it's not only a limited piece, it's also fucking engraved with my man's blood. Like, he knew he was going to die and he wanted to leave something behind. And to be honest, like we always say, that's the most important thing to me. Do you know what I mean? Just smash it while you're on the Earth, and while you're on planet Earth, smash it, and then when you die, leave something behind. And what a fucking legacy to leave, bro. The laminate configuration, the creator of that shit, the thing that summons the fucking Cenobites, he created that. So rest in peace, Simon Says as well.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Something else that died that's fucking really fucking wounding, to be honest. Anyone okay, the name Slimehouse TV, it comes from an event that we ran, but not just an event that we run. My whole crew, the Chef Spendables, we have a clubhouse and it's called Slimehouse. That's where the name came from. It's a take on Grindhouse, but we like to show melt movies like The Blob and Street Trash and shit. And we had our own clubhouse underground basement in Sheffield. And when we got it, it was a derelict fucking wasteland, bro. It was and not in a cool way. It was a derelict space. And we took it over. It's in the basement of a vintage centre in Sheffield that was owned by a very, very good friend of mine, Jill, for many years. And she gave me that basement to turn into our clubhouse. So we painted that, we cleaned it out, painted all the floor. We fit fucking electrics in there and heaters, and we put a projector in it and seats and a projector screen and a DJ booth. We built a kitchen in there, a bar, everything. I fucking love that space so much, bro. We've got a pool table in there, everything, man. It was the sickest spot. I made it look as close to the fucking the Ninja Turtle, the Foot Clan's den from Ninja Turtles. This is what we do. The song that MC Hammer plays, coming in. I made it look, I mean, apart from the skateboard ramps, we made it look so much like that and have that vibe. And we've had it for 4 years, and every month we show movies there. You can come down, everyone's welcome. We put food on, there's booze. We put back-to-back films, like we'd show Escape from New York and Lost Boys and these kind of films. And we've had it for 4 years, bro. We have an epic fucking Halloween party there every year and stuff. People love it, I love it, and it's something that's very much a part of me and part of the Empire and everything I stand for. You walk into Slimehouse and you just know, okay, I get exactly what this crew's about. But we've lost it, and we've got to clear it out. So we're currently in the process of clearing out the whole venue, and it's because the building's been sold to a new owner that doesn't want us in there. And we never had any contract. It was always just done like completely just by on goodwill and by just verbal. So yeah, we've got to clear out, which is a damn shame, bro. Because I said we've spent many a good fucking time down there, and it's been the clubhouse of the Chef Spendables for a long time. And anyone that's been to one of our nights, or we do games nights there and all sorts of stuff. Anyone that come down knows how much that meant to us, and how much of our time we put into it, to turn it into what it is now from this fucking derelict space. But yeah, I just wanted just to say thank you to everyone that's come to Slimehouse, everyone that supported the events, everyone that donated stuff to it, speakers and just speaker wire and seats and chairs and bar stools, and brought down stuff for the kitchen and all that kind of shit. Just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone that helped us do that, because it's something that I would have never been able to do on my own. And we just... And although it's the end of that certain space of Slimehouse, obviously now the name Slimehouse lives on through the TV show and the podcast that we're doing and the interviews and all that stuff. So although the space has gone, Slimehouse TV, I'd like to think it will still live on in many ways.
Get me. And yeah, they might have took the building, but they can't take the memories you had.
You know what I'm
it,
saying? They can't take the fucking Chef Spendable spirit right there.
That's it.
Okay, this is where you're going to start talking, because I feel like I've talked a lot. But this week, it's been confirmed. Mayweather and McGregor is fucking going down, finally, after all this build-up. And it's the 26th of August. So they're going to do a press conference for that before, and I just know the internet's going to fucking crash that day.
Man, Conor McGregor's going to rip Mayweather to shreds at the press conferences. I can't wait for them. Like, Mayweather talks trash, but he doesn't talk intelligent trash. Conor McGregor's just going to troll the absolute fuck out of him at the press
I bet he's at home writing like he's writing for a battle, writing shit that he's going to say to him.
I agree. I do think he does write shit. You know when he said to Nate Diaz, he makes gang signs with a left hand and animal balloons with a right?
Yeah.
That's like a bar.
Yeah, it is.
I think he definitely pre-prepared that. And yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he's sitting at home right now coming up with his best wife beater bars.
Yeah.
I could help him with that.
Yeah.
The last person you knocked out was your girlfriend. Come on, Connor, hook me up. I'll write
that's it. That's it.
Yeah, man. But I'm sure he is, mate, because there's a reason he smashes it at the press conferences, and it's because he treats them as another part of the fight, an extension of the fight. It's an attempt for him to impose his will psychologically, and he always does. The only person he wasn't able to do that to was Nate Diaz, but come on, it's like Nate Diaz, isn't it? No one could do that to Nate Diaz, because he'll do it back to you worse.
Yeah, I mean, they both talk a lot of shit. They both floss the fucking money around any fucking occasion, and they both obviously been smack talking each other for a long time. And I'm not, you know me, bro. Like, I have my own personal opinions on Mayweather and Conor McGregor, but just knowing that this is going down, I've never seen, there's never been like two guys that fucking high up in the pinnacle of the sport go at it like this. The best, the most decorated MMA fighter maybe of all time, but definitely of the last 10 years. Same with Mayweather, the most decorated boxer of the last 10 years at least. Going head to head in a fucking ring, that's something that we rarely get to see. This is like Tekken, bro. It's like Street Fighter. It's like you're seeing this mad clash of styles. As much as it's a boxing match, it's a very fucking mad thing to see. It's gonna be go down in history, and that's why so many people want to see it. I think people like me that don't even really watch boxing too much are gonna be fucking tuning in for that, because it's part of history. It's something you don't want to miss.
I think it's going to be the biggest fight of all time.
It's got to be one of, at least. It's got to be.
I think it's going to eclipse Mayweather, Pacquiao, and all of that shit, all of the Tyson shit. I think it's going to eclipse all of that. Man, think about this. I know you think Conor can be arrogant and whatnot, but during his debut fight in the UFC a few years ago, he was still on the dole in Ireland, and before he went on the dole, he was working in construction and he was training in MMA a little bit. And one day in construction he was like, man, I'm not gonna do this with my life. I need to take this shit serious. So he went on the dole and started training more frequently. And then, you know, in his first UFC fight he wins 50 G's for performance of the night. And then he manages to go on that crazy streak and renegotiate a great contract and take himself and his family into a comfortable living. And then he absolutely smashes it with his next contract, where he does the Nate Diaz and Alves fights. And then he's now got the biggest payday of all time, along with Mayweather.
Yeah. No, he's definitely, whatever he's done it right. That works for him. Do you know what I mean? He's definitely used. He's definitely done the right thing to make that amount of money. Of course he has. If that's your goal, to make a lot of fucking money, then he's done that.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't expect him to win the fight. I will be rooting for him to get that knockout punch, though, of course. I think everybody wants to see McGregor knock Mayweather out, except boxing purists who want to see Mayweather teach McGregor a lesson. You know, I mean, fuck picking a line in the sand because of your discipline. Like, Mayweather beats women and McGregor doesn't. That should be enough to make you want to see Mayweather get knocked the fuck out by McGregor. But yeah, I hope Conor does it, but obviously all statistical data and professional analysis would point to Mayweather having quite an easy time of things.
Yeah, I mean, everyone that I've spoke to about it, because I've quizzed a lot of people on what they think, and most people think that Conor will be lucky to land one fucking punch. But I hope that's not the case. I mean, you want to see these guys, fight. That's why people are paying. Like, bruv, the cheapest ticket is $2,013. That's the cheapest ticket.
Crazy.
The most expensive is $93,609. That's where
Jay-Z will be sitting.
That's where Jay-Z and Schwarzenegger, Stallone, 50 Cent and all them man are sat.
Right next to Barry Chuckle.
You get me? Yeah. I actually found out that I think that was a troll picture and it weren't even real. I found out. It ruined my day. I didn't look into it enough, but I just saw like an article and it was like Barry Chuckle and Jay-Z, picture fake, dreams crushed or some shit. But yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah. It's a fucking mad thing to think that that's going to be going down. But either way, bro, like, come on, that's something that, like I said, it's going to be part of history. It's part of an event. And we're going to get so many, like, fucking part-time fans coming out. Talking the shit like they know everything. There's a new thing, yeah? And I've known about it for a long time, but there's now a word for it. And whenever there's a word for something, then it's like, yes, because then you can... It makes more sense when you're explaining it to people. But nowadays, everyone likes to look woke. I don't know if you've heard this word before. I've only just recently clocked onto it. Woke. Like, woke up, knowing what's happening. So when it's an electoral period, everyone who never's fucking ever mentioned anything about voting and never had a clue about who's who, read a little bit on the internet and then they can write a status about it so they look woke. So they look like they're not fake. Yeah. So you're going to get all these people coming out when it's Conor versus Mayweather coming out wanting to look woke, like they followed boxing for years and they know all this and that, and no one knows fuck all. They're all talking shit, trying to look cool on Facebook and get them likes.
Yeah, it's hilarious,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know, obviously, because I'm the most hardcore MMA fan ever, I've seen waves of this.
Yeah.
I saw the wrestling fans come over when Brock Lesnar, fought in UFC.
Yeah.
And then there was when Jordan's boyfriend Alex Reed fought.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And there was all that press about that. I've seen all
The
these
CM
little
Punk one
waves
as well
of
when
these.
CM Punk came through.
Yeah, CM Punk and Conor McGregor himself has brought a lot of
Oh,
casuals who don't know nothing.
And Anthony
just 'cause
Joshua
he's
as well in
sparking
boxing. I
people
see a
out.
lot of people going on about Anthony Joshua and that never mentioned to me once that they gave a fuck about boxing. And I know that some of them genuinely just won't have talked about it but always liked it. But I see a good fucking 90% of them cunts that didn't know shit and they're only on it because everyone else is and they don't want to look like they're not woke.
That's it.
Yeah.
But, if they want to live their lives like that, fair
Yeah,
play,
they've
fuck
got,
them.
like you said the other day, bro, when we were talking about dickheads and scumbags and people who live their life being fucking snaky and debaucherous, like, it's worked for them for this long, so they're just surviving. It's like, I always say it's like in Transformers, there's an episode of the cartoon where midway through a battle, Starscream flies off with some of the jets, and Megatron's like, Starscream, you coward! And he's like, Megatron, cowards live to fight another day. And that's what it's like, man. If you get into like your 30s and your 40s and you're still a snaky fucking dirty piece of shit, you've probably been doing that all your life and for some reason it's worked for you. Like, don't get me wrong, you will fucking burn in hell for that shit and then you'll have a head full of demons for the rest of your life, fucking like trying to sleep at night. But if it works for you, it works for you. I'll never be that guy, so I don't know how they can live like that, but you get these fucking snaky people and it obviously works for them.
That's it. Well, I'm not hating on these part-time bandwagon riders, man. I don't know if those snakes, they're more chameleons.
Oh yeah, no, they're
just trying to
not.
fit in.
If you decide that you're the biggest fan of MMA overnight just to look woke, then you're not a snake. You're just a bit. You're a sheep, if anything. You're just a bit of a fucking numpty. But yeah, you're not a scumbag. You know what I'm saying.
It is funny to see these people jump on it and act like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah. That's it, bro. That's it.
But oh man, I can't stress enough how actually excited I'm gonna be. See, by the time that fucking bell finally rings and they stare down in the ring and all of that good shit, I'm gonna be fucking giddy, bro. That'll be me in my element, just loving life right there.
Yeah.
And second of all, I also cannot stress enough how much, even though there's a 0% chance of it, see if McGregor knocks Mayweather out. See if he does it, bro. It'll be the best thing in recorded human history. I'm putting it on that level. I will rank Conor McGregor knocking Floyd Mayweather out on a top 10 list of the things that people have ever done.
Oh yeah, no. If he did, he'd have defied all fucking. It would have defied all logic.
There's multiple reasons why.
However, bro, it
much
could
so.
happen. It could happen. Although it's not happened before, it could happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen at the right moment, at the right time, on the right day, with that little bit of fucking magic on your side. Call it what you will, whether you call it God or whether you call it luck or whatever. With that magic on your side, bro, things can happen.
Innit? Maybe Floyd fucking does a sidestep and slips.
I was just going to say he might
punches him.
slip. Okay, so let's talk about this because we had this brief conversation, but see what the listeners think. What worst case scenario? Or when we're not worse, because for us viewers it'd be fucking hilarious. But let's say, like, Conor midway through just thinks fuck it and just sweeps both the guy's legs out and stamps on his head. What happens then? Because you've got to know, you've got to think, right? Just let me just get this last bit out. You've got to think. Mayweather knows that he would never be able to fight Conor in any other time other than a boxing ring. Any other, that's why he's not fighting in MMA. He's fighting in boxing. But he's got to know in the back of his head, anyone he's ever boxed, he's always known, I can fucking kill this guy if I want to. When it comes to, I can beat this guy, I can dodge all these punches and not care a shit and not get one landed on me. But with Conor, he knows, if he wants to, he can kill me. He can take me to the floor, choke me out, stamp on my head, ground and pound me, snap my leg, snap my arm, break my ribs. He can slam me on the fucking ground. He can throw me out of the ring. He knows he can do that if he wants to. So this is something that Mayweather's never had to deal with.
Well, I watched an interview with a UFC president, Dana White.
hold tight Dana White.
Because-
we had a picture
because
in
UFC
Slimehouse
have
of
still
Darren
got
with Dana White on the wall. I've brought it home now. But yeah,
Nice. Because
We down with
UFC
Dana.
have got a contract with Conor still, so it's not like Conor and Mayweather hooked up the fight. Conor had to go to Dana White, say, yo, I want to get this boxing match done. Dana White said, okay.
Dana
we
White
have to
thought,
do the deal
ka-ching! He was
together.
like, yes, I'm on it. Let's go.
Yeah. So they worked as a team to negotiate their cut,
Yeah,
and shit
yeah.
like that. But Dana White was saying that it's in the contract that Conor won't, just throw the fight by turning it MMA and like picking Mayweather up and slamming him and being like, fuck this fight, I'm taking my money and going.
Yeah.
Apparently that's in the contract, so there'd probably be a fine not worth taking if he does that. So I get the feeling that he's been pretty much put into a corner in several aspects, like the fact that the fight is at the weight it is, and I'm not exactly sure the weight, but it's the cut-off point for 8-ounce gloves. So Mayweather's chosen a weight that guarantees Conor has to wear 10-ounce gloves, which is going to reduce his punching impact. Might even slow his hands down and fatigue them quicker as well. So yeah, like Mayweather's got all the cards stacked in his favour, man. So I mean, if he loses this, it'll be a colossal embarrassment, which is why I love it so much. Because here's why I want to see it so much. It's not to shit on boxing, it's to shit on Mayweather. Mayweather's 49-0, currently tied with Rocky Marciano. Now Rocky Marciano was a fucking barbarian warrior.
Rocky
warlord.
Marciano is the greatest fighter of all time.
See the fact that Mayweather
Yeah.
has weaved a fight with Golovkin, but taken a fight with a man who's never had a professional boxing match in order to eclipse Marciano and get the 50-0. I think that's some bullshit. So yeah, I just hope McGregor shits on his little fucking party and just, I want to see Mayweather have to wake up and do an interview after the fight. That would be my dream.
Yeah, I suppose there's no skin off Conor. If Conor did get knocked out by Mayweather, he's just going to be like, well, look, at the end of the day, I'm not a boxer. I went into it as a boxer, and if he came into the MMA ring, I know I'd fucking kill him. You know I'd kill him. I still fucking did it, and I still stepped up, and I still turned up and showed him what I'm about, whether I get knocked out or not. But obviously, if Mayweather gets knocked out, then it just makes him up. And also, just boxing in general, it makes people question all of boxing, then, doesn't it? It makes them question all boxing. That like, wow, so an MMA guy who's never done no boxing steps into the ring. Well, he might have done boxing fights, I don't know, but he's never done a professional boxing fight at this caliber and beat it. It'd question everything. It'd question everything. But what you've also what you've also got to think, bro, is that this could potentially lead to this kind of thing happening in the future. This is now opening doors. This to me is like when Spider-Man turned up in Civil War. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's something that a few years ago we would have never thought possible. Now it's happening. It opens up doors for future. If they make the amount of money they'll make off this fight, they could do a whole fucking card. They could do a whole event, boxing versus UFC. If this, do you know what I mean? If this pulls off well.
Yeah, it would be sick, bro. Unfortunately, the true test would obviously be to have them fight under UFC rules.
Yeah, but as I say, it opens the doors.
Because the boxer's full skill set is still allowed in UFC, whereas the UFC fighter's skill set is incredibly limited in boxing. However, Mayweather's doing everything the smart way round. He's got everything in his favour. And I just hope McGregor does it, mate. I know he's not gonna, but fucking hell, I'll be crossing my fingers for
So
him.
let me fire a couple of questions at you, and you can tell me if this can go down or not. Can McGregor pretend to throw a kick, but not actually throw one, and then catch him off guard? Can he do that?
I'm not aware if feinting a kick is legal in boxing, but even if it is, Mayweather won't defend it because he's trained his whole life in boxing, which is just to watch those two hands. So McGregor might feint a kick, but I don't think Mayweather will react to it.
Can McGregor go down onto his knees and move around like a fucking monkey on the floor, like he's gonna shoot for him just to fucking confuse him? Like, sure, he can do that. He can do that if he wants, surely.
Nah, if you take a knee in boxing, that's like you get a 10 count.
Oh, okay.
I think McGregor might try that strange stance before the round starts, though, just to,
just
his
to
little
fuck with
crouched, weird, animalistic.
That's what I
stance,
mean.
just
That's
to
what I
maybe
mean. The
throw
stance that
Mayweather
Conor
off a
always
bit.
does. He might be able to pull that off.
He might do it before the round starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can he throw? And I don't think he can. Can he throw a spinning back fist?
No.
They're completely illegal. Okay. And last question: can he fucking Superman punch? Because people get knocked out with those in MMA. I don't know what they're like with a boxing glove on. I know you have to kind of fake a kick, don't you, to come in for that?
Yeah, like I was saying,
it's kind of like question
the whole reason the Superman punch is effective is because you set it up with kicks and then you fake the kick in Superman punch. So I see it as a pretty ineffective lunging forward, leaving your chin out move in boxing, whereas in MMA it's effective because you set it up with a kick feint. So.
But one thing we can be sure of is when he's in that ring, Conor's going to be talking that shit.
No doubt. That's all I hope. All I hope is he doesn't get knocked out. Well, obviously I hope he knocks Mayweather out. But if he doesn't, I hope he just survives the 12 rounds, talks some good shit to him, and maybe lands a couple interesting shots or something. Then
to be honest, that's probably what's going to go down, unless something really fucking drastic happens and Mayweather does catch him off guard. I think he'll play it safe. He'll dodge most of his fucking punches. I feel that Conor's hungry, innit? I don't think Mayweather's that hungry. He's not hungry. He's made his money. He'll do his fights, take his money. He's happy to dodge and duck and dive and throw a few punches. If he doesn't land one all fight, he don't care. He's happy to dodge and walk away unscathed. Whereas Conor's more hungry. Conor will be there to fight, and I think Mayweather will be there to dodge. He'll be defense versus offense very much for that whole fight.
Well, Mayweather's always defensive-minded first. He's got the best boxing defense.
What do you call that boxing defense?
The Philly shell.
Yeah, the Philly shift. Yeah.
The Philly shell.
Philly shell. Sorry. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
That's when you use your lead arm to completely guard the body and you shoulder shift their lead shots. That's the weird stance he has, is Philly shell. But
I get you.
Yeah, man. Shit will be mad crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's.
And I was gonna say as well, I think the boxing community is gonna demand almost a knockout from Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather's trying to be regarded as the greatest of all time. If in 10 years they're tossing about names in a boxing discussion as to who was the greatest of all time, people will always be able to say about Floyd, he went 12 rounds with an MMA guy and couldn't even finish him.
Yeah.
And I think it's Floyd's duty as the best boxer of all time to get a knockout against a guy who's never had a professional boxing match before.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think he looks bad if Conor survives 12 rounds.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Even if Floyd's flawless.
I was just going to say the same thing. I mean, obviously, anyone that doesn't even really watch boxing, you can watch one of Floyd Mayweather's highlight reels, and he's a surgeon. Do you know what I mean? He fucking takes heads off when he pops them fucking punches. So, it's very likely that he will fucking box Conor's head off. But for the sake of MMA, I hope that's not the case.
Well, it doesn't speak badly of MMA.
It doesn't speak badly of MMA, but I just want. I just, for the sake of MMA, as someone who loves MMA a lot more than boxing, I don't want that to happen.
I get you. But yeah, shit's going to be good, man. And like you said, hopefully it opens the door up for more, cross-sport clashes like that in the future. Obviously, UFC did have one a few years ago, but both fighters were past it. Randy Couture against James Toney.
Couture were there.
And Randy Couture did what he was supposed to, show that in an MMA rules fight, James Toney wouldn't make it out of the first round. And Floyd Mayweather should be able to do the same with Conor McGregor. Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It's something we'll definitely be covering. And if that's in Vegas, is this going to be one of them that takes place at like 5 a.m?
Of course, mate. All that shit takes place at about 5 a.m.
But that'll be one morning that I'll be staying up till 5 a.m. in, because I want to watch that. And usually when it comes to the big MMA fights and the boxing and stuff, I'd just watch it the next morning. But yeah, that's one that's going to have to be watched live again, because you've got to be part of that event. You've got to see that shit live.
Yeah, it's actually an event in world history. That's how big this is, man. It's a fucking event, mate.
Yeah.
The whole world is going to be watching.
Definitely, bro. Well, yeah, I mean, unless there's anything else you want to speak about, bro, it might be fucking supply run time.
I think it's supply
I
one
do,
time,
bro.
motherfucker.
Obviously, we've been down here 2 weeks with no podcasting, so we've been fucking eating them supplies. Them rations have been going down, so it's time to go out and get some more. But yeah, this has been episode 13. Unlucky for some, but not for this podcast, because I think it's been a very fucking good one, mate. We've covered a lot of ground, and there's stuff that we can. There'll be stuff that we didn't cover this week that we always forget about, because we always do. But we'll cover it next week if nothing too drastic comes up. Yeah, we want to keep this as regular as possible, as sometimes life does get in the way and things happen, and for whatever reason we can't get one out every week. But yeah, this is one that I'd like to think that we're kind of back on point now, and we can be getting one out every week. So yeah,
man,
that's what's been popping. If you want to check out any of our other episodes, get yourself to www.slimehousetv.com. You can also drop us any questions or check out all the other social media on www.facebook.com/SlimehouseTV, and the YouTube is now youtube.com/SlimehouseTV for all the other episodes as well. But for now, I'm Theo Cane, that's Respek BA, and this has been the Lowdown Shelter episode 13. Peace.